Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, my name is Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, aka Mama Lou.
Coming to you again from the Dorkalicious Studios.
Hi, everybody. So glad you could all be here today.
Oh, shit, Chinzia.
I know, I forgot the birthdays again.
Let me look it up real quick. Okay, so while I'm looking this up, I can say this part. We're gonna talk about the New Kids virtual cruise, because that was super cool.
Okay, so I only watched the documentary.
Nice.
No, but wait.
We'll talk about that.
Oh, good, okay.
Before we get to that, there's something else I want to mention, but are there any birthdays, Chinzia?
What week is this, Diane?
Today's May the 3rd.
Oh, yes, of course. On May the 4th be with you, our delightful Lance Bass from NSYNC is 41. Woo!
I hope he has a delightful birthday. Happy birthday, Lance.
Happy birthday, Lance.
All right, so happy
Is
birthday
there some
to
sort
Lance.
of birthday, signage that's going on for his birthday?
Oh, yes, we were supposed to make a sign. I don't think we did. Did you make a sign, Sophia?
No?
Okay.
Can you tell the people at home what the sign is for?
Lance's birthday.
Who's coordinating this?
I want to say Mission NSYNC.
That's correct.
Okay.
Anyways,
So
but
they're a good NSYNC fan site if you want to follow them on Twitter. I'm assuming probably Instagram as well. Keeps us up to date with NSYNC news. So there you go.
yes, and before we get into all the New Kids stuff, speaking of NSYNC and just things in that realm, we don't normally address drama stuff on this podcast, and I'm not really trying to address drama stuff, but there was some drama that happened in the NSYNC fandom.
Yes! Didn't we get a message about that?
Well, and that's my point. So we got a message about it sort of inviting us to come to this Facebook page and trash these girls, which I'm not super cool with.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
But thanks for the invite, though.
Yeah,
it was nice that you thought of us.
Yeah, just putting it out there to the universe. We know that there is just so much drama in every fandom. And this is supposed to be a break. This is supposed to be
it's a
get
fun
away.
thing to do.
Yeah, get away, mental health, me time, that kind of stuff. And so we're not here for drama, just so everyone knows. Okay? And we're specifically not here for trashing anyone.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
No one.
So shout out to the girls who are out there making their own podcasts and doing their own things, and good for you. So there's enough podcast space out for everybody.
Yeah.
There's enough room in every fandom for people. So just, enjoy the fandom and be in nice frames of mind, and
As Zach Hansen would say, peace, love, and bulletproof marshmallows, right?
That's right.
And
Yes.
we're
Try to get along.
I kind of think of this podcast as we try to encompass all boy bands. There is the BSB NSYNC rivalry. There is some element of competitiveness even between boy bands themselves, and I feel what we try to do is merge it all together and be hey, we're fans of everything.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. And so it's I also don't want to because that's our mission and our goal with this podcast, we're definitely not trying to get into beefs or anything with anyone else. So okay.
If we think about it this way, in the industry, right? Any news is good news, right? So any
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, thank you. That's exactly right. But at the same time, we don't want to start drama stuff. We don't want to become a drama channel. Ugh.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Nice.
Just channel your inner Donnie Wahlberg. # Love Eternal.
Exactly.
That's what we want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. So
know.
thanks for the invite.
Yeah,
But no
thanks for listening. But if it's drama, if it's trashing other people, maybe move it along. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Back. Speaking of Donnie, let's go back to the New Kids cruise. So last weekend was supposed to be the New Kids cruise.
Oh,
the actual cruise.
Yes, an actual cruise. Obviously that could not happen because of
pandemic.
Yeah, the state of the world right now.
Was it their 10th anniversary or
No, that was last year.
Okay.
So this would have been 11th, but
okay.
Basically, that was obviously like super disappointing for everyone. Like, I can't imagine.
If you're listening to this in the future, no cruise ships are actually cruising right now, I believe.
No,
so everybody's been kind of like shut down.
Cruise ships are like a big petri dish for disaster when it comes to stuff like viruses. Yeah,
for sure. And also, a lot of the borders, all the borders pretty much are closed. So even if fans were going, somehow if the cruise was going to happen, they wouldn't have been able to get there anyways because they can't fly or drive or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the New Kids
you can go within the United States.
Yeah, so I know New Kids has a lot of American fans, so that probably would have worked, but obviously they canceled the cruise.
For safety.
But what they did do, which a lot of people really appreciated, is they refunded everybody their money. So you got your money, but when it goes on for next year or whenever it's rescheduled, anyone who was booked on the cruise automatically gets to book first. So they get all that
That's
stuff.
Good. Oh, that's awesome.
So no one's
really
losing their spots. Nobody's losing out on money because they said, we know you need money right now. A lot of you people are out of work. So that's kind of what they did. And then they literally could have just left it at that.
Honestly.
And, they did a couple of video chats and Facebook Lives and things like that. And then literally out of the blue.
They're supposed to be doing another one today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they're doing a lot of fun stuff there. But then like literally out of the blue, they're like, hey, we're having a virtual cruise. Everyone's invited.
And so they tried to do like
and a new song.
Yes.
Sorry.
So, they tried to do like a lot of obviously you can't do everything that you would do on a cruise. But they tried to like have like each night they did a live stream that was like a deck party and there was like different, I guess, themes to there.
Which I believe are the same themes that would have been happening on the cruise.
Yes.
So people would have already bought their costumes and outfits and stuff so you could dress up at home and then join in this virtual cruise.
It's like a Zoom meeting or what was it? Oh, no way.
It was actually really cool. I only tuned into
they also did door decorations too.
Oh, cute.
I only tuned into the one the glitter one. But it was like, so you saw the five guys, like they were always there on the screen. They'd get like bigger and smaller depending on like what was going on, but they were always there. And then they'd show fans as well, like spotlight on people who had like costumes and whatever. It was cool.
Oh. And it wasn't like 10 minutes. It was several hours.
Oh, yeah.
What?
So like
when I tuned into one, it had been going already for 2 hours.
Whoa!
And it's still like I left and it was still going on.
Like it was crazy. So,
yeah, I think the majority of them went for like 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Because you know what? And kudos on them because they were already mentally planned to be away that entire weekend anyways.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's not like they were doing anything much at home. And the other cool thing is they also sent out an itinerary every day of different events that were happening.
Yes, so the guys did like
actual
solo
events?
Yeah, so like for example, Danny Wood did a cooking thing.
Oh.
So he's like, here's the ingredients, and then you got to cook along with him on the thing.
Oh.
Donnie did selfies. Yes.
How?
And he did.
Yeah, he did
Donnie
Instagram
did
Live
on Sunday. He did like a whole like hours of just him like taking virtual
on Instagram
selfies.
Live. So then he would pull you in, so you'd be chatting with him, and then he would screen cap it. Then he'd talk to everybody for like a minute or two, and then move on to the next person. So like there was like,
but he also did. He went on like a bunch of talk shows. And then he did a live on Friday with like the song and the video, like chatting about that.
What is the song called again?
House Party.
It's called
House Party. Yes.
House
Cute.
Party.
Welcome to the house party.
So they record.
No.
Did you listen to the song?
No, obviously no.
Okay.
Damn
I
it.
forgot to send it to you. Sorry.
Thank you.
I think whatever.
Yeah.
Is it
We
nice?
probably did, but maybe it got lost in the chat.
I don't have my phone on me all the time. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So essentially, they recorded it in their own houses and then kind of mixed it together and have like little videos as well. And I want to say Naughty by Nature is in it.
Naughty by Nature, Boys to Men, and Jordan Sparks sing on it.
Mm.
But then they also have some celebrities kind of like dancing to it. So like Carrie Underwood is there, Nicole Scherzinger.
Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg
Mark
is there.
Wahlberg with his family.
There was
That
like
was a
that.
cute- that was a
Derek
cute
Huff
moment.
was there, and
From Dancing with the Stars.
the who's the guy who's with Jenny McCarthy on that show, the Asian guy. K.
The Asian
Oh,
guy.
Oh, that guy.
Oh.
Yes. On The Masked Singer.
Yes.
Ken
Yes, I forgot his
Ken
name
something?
though.
I don't know. I can't
He's
remember
a
his.
doctor, but he's an actor.
Oh yeah, the guy from Hangover.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. His
Yes.
name,
Oh
but
my
yeah.
god, I forget his name
Anyways, that guy's in it. Anyways, there's a bunch of people in the video as well as like what's her name's in it? Kimmy Gibbler. What's her? I don't
Yes.
remember.
Oh, cute.
And
Andrea?
Candace Cameron
Andrea Barber,
Bure's in it as
Oh,
well.
cute.
of course.
Anyways, it's not. They missed a huge opportunity to make it to the tune of Block Party. Like calling it House Party, they could have just easily taken the music from Block Party, but it's not that.
No, but it's like, it's good. The first time I was like, but then when I listened to it a couple times, like, oh, this is actually a pretty good song. It's catchy.
Yeah.
Donnie has a shirt
Yeah,
that
I
he
think
always
you have to
changes.
have a few listens before you can get into
Yeah,
it.
it's not like a banger right away.
Mm.
But then when you listen to it like a couple times, you're like, okay, I get this. He has a shirt that says "I miss," and then he just had a piece of tape and he just kept writing things like, "I miss the fan or the blockheads. I miss everyone. I miss."
There was like a
hugs."
bunch of things.
I miss Olive Garden.
Yeah,
He did
I
not
like that. That
write
was
Olive
that was
Garden.
cute. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, so it was
Like-
very it was a very nice hey, we were not attempting to release a song. We decided to write this song and put it out.
And they did it on the cruise weekend, so like when
Like,
when
it
the
was, like,
song
the launch.
premiered, he was like,
Yeah.
watch the video with Donnie was like, watch the video with me live, and like blah
cute.
blah blah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
He did
So
his
he's trying
little,
to make things happen, like have fun, even though you're like stuck at home, kind
And
of.
Yeah.
Joey did something.
I think everybody but
and
John did
I
something.
think everyone but John did like a little. thing.
What a
John looked at-
surprise.
John looked at his sleep schedule for the weekend.
Couldn't have taken
That's
us
what
to
he
his
did.
chicken coop. Come on,
He
man.
said something about
In the house party video, he's coming out of his chicken coop.
But
at
he
one point.
literally is only in the video for like 1 second, and it's at the very end, and he like pops out of his chicken coop. But he did say, he was like, oh, I didn't even know the song was coming out today. And people are like, what the hell? And he's like, oh, my internet here is not very good.
He lives in the
Fair.
country and has very shitty internet.
Like
I
satellite
suppose,
internet.
yes.
As a rich guy, you would think that
I don't know.
that would be.
But
a
Donnie
priority?
started off the cruise by, I
Mhm.
guess on every cruise he does like a traditional you're on this boat, you forget about your husbands, have a great
Mhm.
weekend type. So he actually had like a
Yeah,
pond, I
apparently
guess,
he's
in
the
his
captain.
backyard, and he was in like a little boat in this pond, being like,
Oh my God,
it
it's
was
so
actually
funny.
very
Oh, I
funny.
That
love
is
it.
so cute.
It was very cute.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they were very interacting with fans all weekend, and you didn't have to originally be on the cruise to go to the virtual.
That
cruise.
is nice. I like that.
So,
yeah,
for
it was
example,
for everyone,
Because
literally.
when I was watching one of the events, like 30,000 people had watched it, whereas a cruise you would only be able to have like 2,500 people.
Ah.
So you actually were able, and they even had like virtual cruise merch as
What?
well, and
What?
the money
Yeah.
for that was going to some charity. I think a COVID-19 one or something like that.
I don't
Makes
know, but it was
sense.
pretty cool.
But it
I
was
think
like
it was like feed the children or something like that.
Yes,
No
probably,
hungry
like-
something. I don't know.
no hungry. Yeah, it was like a kids.
Yeah, something
food
like that. Yeah.
program.
That's cute.
So yeah, so like they did a really bang up job, and they were just like, I was busy that weekend doing stuff, so I only got to go see a couple of things, but they had like contests and fun things and to kind of get everybody together. So
Yeah, you definitely would have had to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like if you wanted to, you could have just been at the computer
could have immersed
all
yourself
the
in the
day
whole
and
thing.
been
Yeah.
at the cruise. So that was really
Yeah.
cool.
That's nice.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I
Yeah.
saw some of it.
Can't Backstreet take a page out of their book for God's sakes? Come on, man.
They absolutely could.
1,000%, yes, but
For sure.
they're kind of laying
I don't
low
know.
right now.
After that weekend, all I saw on Twitter was Backstreet Boys could do a few things like this.
Oh, really? People were saying that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
People could tell, every time they were comparing the boy bands, the Backstreet Boys should be able to do something like this. They're stuck at home.
can I
Why
explain
can't they do
why
that?
I
Yeah.
think my theory?
Okay.
Or no, I shouldn't.
I was just going to say, in their defense, this is actually their time off between tours and stuff. So
Yes, this was supposed to be.
They didn't have anything going on right now. But yes,
Of course,
they
I'm just
definitely.
saying what I saw on Twitter.
could.
I'm not saying
Yes.
that. I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying what I saw on Twitter.
Lydia,
They did do the couch, welcome to your living room thing.
That's
Theater.
true.
Yes,
Theater.
they
Oh my
did do
God.
the I
Concert.
Want It That Way
They did do one
concert
song there, yes.
Yeah.
in the living room.
So, I
And then
mean,
Nick did some sort of thing for some Las Vegas telethon. I guess he talked.
And he was on with Steve Aoki. And AJ.
Oh yeah, he did it. And AJ's done a couple of looped calls. So that's the thing where
I don't
you
know.
pay, and then he comes and talks to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Why are we not doing this?
Because it sold out immediately. Then
Oh.
they put some
Yeah.
more, and then it sold out immediately after that. So I think he might
And
do
it's
some more.
$150.
But if we kind of could somehow group
If
chat
you-
that.
Yeah, I mean, we all split it by 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so
And I mean, like, whatever.
Here's my theory. You want to hear this? I'm going to
Yeah.
mic drop for y'all. Okay,
Okay.
here we go. Okay, here's the truth bomb from Lydia. Okay.
Okay.
So the new kids, they did take a break for a while, right?
Mhm.
So they had to have regular jobs. They had to have crappy jobs like real estate and like whatever. I mean, you know, construction. Like so, like
None of
they
them were doing
know
construction, right?
they know
John
how
kinda
good
did.
that this train is. You know what I mean? The Backstreet Boys have
Yeah.
never gotten off the train. The train has been going for many years. So like
27.
I don't know, like, okay, so like Donnie, okay, we can't jump ahead, right? We're talking about
We'll get to the documentary right after this.
So I'm saying that I think that the new kids appreciate this a little bit more because they've been out of it and they're like, shit, like I don't want to go back to that life. That life sucked. I will kiss as much ass as possible to just stay on this train. You know? That's my theory. Anyway.
And it's a valid
So
one. And
They
I don't.
appreciate fans more because they've been away for a little while.
Yeah.
They know.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder, right?
Exactly.
I don't want to, like, I mean, I'm not going to come out and say that that's right, like, that's true.
That's just my opinion, guys.
It's just, it could be.
Opinions are like
Yeah.
buttholes. Everybody
Oh,
gets
I'm not
one.
even saying, you could be 100% right. We just don't know.
Well, even
right?
even when Kevin came back, you could see how much more appreciative he was of the band when he took a break, right? So
Jonas.
Everyone, literally,
Brothers.
except for the Backstreet Boys, has had a breakup and then back together in terms of boy bands.
Yeah, yeah.
There's been no other boy band that has consistently gone the whole time.
Other than Backstreet.
Yeah. So
that we know of.
Chugga chugga chew. Good job, guys.
in a way, like, you would respect them for that. Maybe it does cause them to, like, be less appreciative of.
But I don't even think they are, though, because obviously if they weren't appreciative of fans, we would not continue going to
I'm
things.
not saying they're not appreciative. Sorry.
Yeah.
I should make that clear. I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying they are. They might be. I'm not even saying they are. They might be less appreciative compared to other boy bands just because of the fact that they didn't take a break.
Like
Because this is their full-time job.
Yeah.
They've been
Yeah.
doing this all this time. They don't need to try as hard because they know we'll still be there.
Like, look at it this way. Okay, say I'm a rich guy and I had a steak and it was like the best steak ever. And then I had 3 bad months and I am out on the street licking garbage from the floor. You know what I mean? And then I gotta, my boy band comes back together and I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm back to eating steak again. And I'm like, okay, I don't ever want to be licking pavement ever again. I'm going to make sure that I have steak every night. I will kiss as many butts as possible so that I can eat my steak every night.
But if you eat
Well,
the steak every
you know
night
what?
and you're never licking asphalt,
Yes.
Yes.
then
You get steak fade,
then you get the steak
Oh, yeah.
fade, right?
right? Exactly.
Does
So-
anybody else want a steak right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you
Coca
posted that? The
Cabana.
keg will mail you.
Yes. You
What?
Can, no,
Yeah.
you can pick up a steak. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
curbside pickup. I'm like, yes, but you don't. You have to cook it yourself,
Oh.
which is bullshittery because I don't have.
Is it cheaper than buying a steak normally?
Probably not. I can't imagine.
Anyways,
They
I just
age it
thought
for
that
like
was
28
cool.
days and shit. So like, mine's in my freezer. What the hell am I gonna do with it?
But it's like dinner for 2 or some. Yeah, it's cool. Anyways,
Steak.
Anyway, so
Oh.
that's just my opinion. That's just my
Okay.
opinion. I mean, I always relate
Yeah.
things back to steak.
it could
Sorry.
be. I'm just saying.
It's an interesting thought.
Thank you, Sophia.
And you know what? Whatever. I think most people can agree. We have said on this podcast many times, new kids are unmatched in terms of
Fan
how they engage with their fans.
Yes, the fan
It is.
service.
Not
Oh my
matched.
god, the
Maybe
fans
O-Town
interaction
comes
is
close.
crazy.
Maybe because O-Town definitely had licking asphalt times.
Yeah.
like
They were doing construction and stuff.
they're still not at like New Kids level.
Yeah.
You know, still, and they've been back since like what, 2014.
I think so.
So like,
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they've been posting a lot of stuff about missing their fans too.
Yes.
So
Aww.
it's very beautiful.
and they did lives and stuff also. So they come close to New Kids, they definitely do. But like New Kids is obviously like
Number one.
yeah.
O-Town is not selling out large venues.
Yeah.
like
Yes.
New Kids are.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. I mean, I think O-Town needs better management, personally.
I don't think they have management.
Yeah,
I
they
think
do.
their management are themselves, buddy.
No, they have a manager.
Okay, but they were never as huge as New Kids, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, so they wouldn't.
Yeah,
get
that's
back
true.
as huge,
They had
right?
like 1 year when they were like really, really famous, and then it was just like that's it.
So, anyways,
true,
can
yeah.
we
Sorry.
bring this back to the New
Yes,
Kids?
yes, bring this
Yes.
back.
Anyways.
Reel it back in.
Okay, so one of the things, obviously, you know, 3 out of 4 of us are still working, and even throughout this pandemic, and so we obviously
Sophia is not working.
Oh,
Maria-
you?
Yes.
Diane is posting things for the children. She's a
Oh,
Yes.
but the building is closed.
the building is closed. We're distance learning.
teacher. So
Oh.
she's making things. She's uploading it to the program. The parents are doing it, taking pictures of their kids doing this stuff, and
Oh my god, that's
Fun
intense,
times.
man. Holy crap, good job.
Anyways,
Sure.
yeah.
Sorry, okay, continue.
You know what? It was a difficult startup. but
Yeah.
now that we're going, it's a lot smoother.
Oh, good.
Anyways, that's not the point. The point is we didn't want to commit to being like, we're gonna watch everything from this cruise and like give you a recap, because it wasn't a realistic thing for us. So what we decided was there was like a 50-minute like documentary that they posted as sort of like a kickoff to their cruise. So we're like, oh, let's just all watch this.
Yeah.
Because it sort of showed like what life on the cruise is like, and you know, the New Kids talked about what it's like on the cruise.
they said it's only available for that weekend. So I don't know. Has anyone actually checked to see if it's still
I
there?
personally did not. However, I did some
I
research.
think it was there until Monday.
Okay.
because not this Monday. She means the Monday that passed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Monday that passed on that cruise weekend.
I did some research because before we start anything, just, you know, as a note,
Mm.
when I was watching it, I was like, this seems not new.
Right.
And so I looked into it, and
Mm.
it's not new. It's not like they recorded
What?
this just for this weekend. This was something apparently that they made in 2013.
Oh.
And then on the cruise in 2013, all the people who were on the cruise got this DVD.
Ooh.
But that was
Okay.
sort of the only way you could have watched it before now.
So that was the
Mm.
first cruise?
No.
Interesting.
Their first cruise, they said it. Wasn't it in 2008 or 2009?
The very first cruise was
2009.
1993, and they hated it.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
the other
yes,
one.
yes.
But I mean of the modern cruises.
Yeah.
So this is not footage from Rock the Boat, then?
It is. Some of it is.
Okay.
But
What is
For
Rock the
those who
Boat?
don't know, Rock the Boat is a TV show that they do on, like,
They
it's a little
did.
mini series from when they're on the cruise. So
Who?
the New Kids. So
They have their own miniseries?
it was
no.
in the States, so we didn't get it up here
Yeah.
that I know of. But essentially, it was on. I think they had 2 or 3 seasons.
They definitely had one in 2013, one in 2014, and then maybe one in 2012 or 2015, like something like
so
that.
it was kind of like a following the cruise, and I think
So-
they picked like 3 or 4 fan groups to follow as well on the cruise. Like
Like
I
a
remember,
Star Trek cruise, a New Kids, and something else?
no, it was all New Kids.
Oh, it was all New Kids. Oh,
but
okay.
it was different years, right?
Oh.
So we saw part of it when we were in LA. The thing that I recall, which was obviously a setup, was the girls were trying to meet one of them. I don't know if it was Joey or Donnie or whatever. So they dressed up like people who worked on the cruise ship and
What?
tried to sneak into their hotel room.
What?
I
at
mean,
one
at
point.
the end of the day, it's a reality show, and we all know
That's
that reality shows are not scripted, but they are.
Not totally based in reality.
Yes, they're manufactured, and there's things that are put on to make certain things happen, so that there is action and things
And
happening
then I
in the
think
show.
somebody was getting married on the cruise
Yes.
on one of them, so her bridesmaids were there, or maybe it was like a bachelorette. I'm not really
It was
sure.
a whole thing, but it was a cute show, and like literally we were like, oh my god, if they ever do this on the Backstreet Boys cruise, because shortly
Yes.
after that, I think like after 2014, the New Kids moved their cruise. They always did their cruise in the spring. And then New Kids all of a sudden moved their cruise to October when Backstreet Boys had always been doing their cruises. And we were like, oh shit, maybe Backstreet Boys are going to do their cruise in the spring. And they're going to do Rock the Boat. And we were like, how do we get on this show?
How do we get on the show?
Like
we were something the Crazy Canadians or something.
we had a whole
like
pitch.
a whole like
Oh,
thing.
cute.
but then they didn't.
obviously.
They didn't do a cruise in 2015. 2016 was in Europe. It was in spring, but it was in Europe. And then they didn't do one in 2017. Their 2018 one was in spring, but at this time they were long not doing the show anymore. So, yeah.
Is it like not?
So Rose Tours is the company that does the New Kids and the Backstreet Boys cruises.
Oh, the same guys.
So they're the ones. So that's why they do it at different times. So it's not the same time because they use their same staff to do both cruises.
Oh,
Yeah.
pretty much.
interesting. So is
And
is there
sometimes some of
net-
the bodyguards also go on each other's cruises
Yeah.
as well.
very cute. So I guess there's not going to be another Backstreet cruise ever again.
There will be. They just hadn't announced anything yet. So
It-
this
arguably it should have been this year because since they did Backstreet Boys have done 2011 and then they did 2010, 2011. Then they did 2013, 2014, and then since 2014 they've been doing it like 2016, 2018. So everyone assumed
that they were going to announce it for like October of this year.
of 2020
Is
but
what we guessed, but
it
we
never
weren't
happened.
sure because that's when they have their tour going. They were supposed to have the tour going on, and then it was going to end November. So then we thought maybe it'll be spring because they haven't really. I don't know. They didn't announce it yet. So, but normally they give you about a year to pay for the cruise and to book the cruise. For this New Kids one that just happened, they only gave 6 months.
Oh yeah.
So that's why it's also thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
good. Okay, so back to this.
Anyways, back to this thing. So my only point was this is not
Brand new.
And all the footage that they showed, like of the cruises, I just want to say, are from cruises, I guess, 2012 and earlier. So like 2008, 2009, 10, 11, and 12. And then they would have got it in 2013. So it's not from the more recent cruises. Oh no, 2009 must have been their first one. Because last year was the 10th anniversary one.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2009, 10, 11, 12.
Have you guys ever been on New Kids
No.
cruise?
Been very close to wanting to go. First of all, they're more expensive than the Backstreet ones.
Ooh.
Just not by a lot, but it's because they have an extra
It's
day.
because it's a bit longer, yeah.
They I think Backstreet's 3 days and they're 4 days, or it's 4 and 5.
The last Backstreet Boys cruise was 4 days.
Yeah. Also, I could never find anyone to go with me. Also, it sells out really quick. And then the 1 year and if you want to do the single one by yourself, it's the same
Double,
price
isn't
as
it?
2 people, right?
That's crazy.
So it seems kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But I did tweet 1 year to John Knight and was like, oh, I really want to get on one of these New Kids cruise was one of these years. And then he tweeted me back, well, we're not getting any younger. And I was like, oh, that's hilarious. So then I went to go find this tweet and he freaking deleted it. He deleted both. And I was just like, I was like, I don't even have a copy of this tweet anymore.
Ow.
You
brutal.
screenshotted it.
I know I
sure.
screenshotted it somewhere, but I screenshot a lot of stuff.
You
Anyways,
did.
back to this thing.
So yeah, so some of this stuff actually, if you did end up watching this, I just want to say it just because I looked into it because I was like, this seems whatever.
The production value is too good to be quarantine style.
No, we definitely would. Yeah.
Some of this stuff apparently doesn't happen anymore.
What?
So we'll talk about it and then I'll tell you what I found out like as I was like whatever.
Researching.
Yeah. So basically what this is like it's the boys, like the 5 guys and New Kids, and they're talking about the cruises and like what it's like on the cruise and whatever. And then they show footage of like different things on the cruise. So if you've never been on a New Kids cruise or any cruise, like
With the boy band.
yeah, it's a good like
Entry?
yeah, and it kind of shows you a flow of like how things happen. Like it, I don't know. Does any other boy bands do it besides Backstreet and New Kids?
Not that I
There
know
was that
of.
weird Ryan Cabrera
does a
cruise.
couple of
And
things.
Friends.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's the same. Like, it's not the same, like, we're filling out a whole boat type thing.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, old singers, like,
And they have
Bobby
like
Patola used to do shit like that.
they have like soap opera cruises, and then there was like a
Star
frickin-
Trek cruises.
Yeah.
Harry
Yeah,
Potter
there was
cruises.
one that you could friggin' cruise with Gronk there.
Gronk?
He's a football player.
Does it?
But I've
Soph,
seen
is there
one-
any like WrestleMania cruises?
Probably.
WWE?
Sophia, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
okay.
Are there any wrestling cruises or anything that you know of?
Chris Jericho does a cruise.
Yeah.
He did one the past 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
He
that's the
used
thing.
to be in WWE, and now he's the frontman of Fozzy. Yeah, he's done
Ooh.
2 years in a row.
But does he bring other wrestlers with him or whatever?
Yes, actually, they've had wrestling matches on the cruise.
What? No.
Fun.
Oh my
So-
god.
So yeah, so that's it. So like a lot of them will do things, but they'll get like a bunch of artists and have like here's a
Here's me.
metal hair weekend
Yeah,
cruise
yeah.
or whatever. But as for full just bands, I think it's just
One
New
of the
Kids.
first like celebrities to do it was Rick Springfield.
Yes.
You know,
Ooh.
Jesse's girl.
And
That guy.
He
also
sold out a cruise ship?
another
Well, I don't know if he sold
cruise
it
used
out,
to be
but-
Soap Stars. The Soap Stars used to do
Yes.
cruises as well.
and country singers do them too and stuff.
Yeah.
But in the boy band world, I think it's just New Kids and Backstreet.
Yeah. And
Maybe
so-
British people?
But I think if they do it, they have a couple of different bands. So it would have been like A1
yeah.
and 5
Okay, yeah.
and this.
And it's probably not put on by Rose Tours because I
No,
think
I don't
Rose
think so.
Tours only operates out of Miami, right?
Yes. Well, they must have done the Euro one though.
Did
Backstreet.
they? I don't know.
I have no idea. Anyways, whatever. It is what it is.
Wasn't the Euro
But
one
like,
crappy?
essentially, when Lydia and I went on the first Backstreet Boy cruise, it was a half charter, and we were going in blind because nobody knew what the heck was going on. We're just like, okay, the boys are on a ship. Okay, let's do this thing. But we didn't know. Like, I remember actually running out of memory on my what is this
Camera?
thing? Camera, because like I did not realize the Q&A would be an hour long. Like I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's gonna be like 10 minutes because that's how long they usually are at these things.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so it was like, so that was actually kind of interesting to see. But anyways, so yeah, so this
So
New
anyways,
Kids doc.
it was interesting to see, like, again, if you've never been on the cruise, that's the layout of a New Kids cruise, and that's the layout of a Backstreet Boys cruise, and it's always the same every time.
Yeah, so
So
it
you
showed
get
them
on-
like getting there, getting on,
Yeah.
the boys getting on. Like,
They do the
Sail
like
away
sail away
party.
party, that they do the game shows, they do the deck parties, they do the
Concert.
concerts,
they do the pictures.
they do, and then they
Yeah.
talk about like what happens at the end,
And then the roaming of
beach
the rooms.
party.
Yes, my notes don't
Yeah,
start
some-
until the 32-minute mark. So,
Yeah, so circling back, one of the things that they first mentioned when they were talking about their first cruise and like getting on and how they were skeptical and whatnot, and even you were just saying, I didn't book the first Backstreet Boys cruise. I was like, I actively am choosing not to go because I was so skeptical.
oh really?
Oh yeah, I
was just
could
like,
have gone.
woohoo, let's do this.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't
I
know.
booked that
There was
shit so hard.
so little information about what it would be like.
Yeah,
And I was like,
and you're the type of personality that needs to know
I
everything.
need to know
You're a type A.
everything. And I was like, there's no information about what's going to happen. So I'm like, I assumed either one of two things would happen. It would be totally shitty and they would just be like there and I'd be staring at them from a distance the whole time. Or B, it would be a complete fucking shit show and people would be mobbing them and like whatever everywhere they
Closer
went.
to B, I would say.
Yeah.
It's closer to B, but it's not that bad.
No,
Which is
I just personally, I was like, I've been on a cruise. I like cruising, and the boy band is there, and we're guaranteed a picture. What the hell? Let's go.
yes.
that was
And
my-
then
For me,
whatever-
I was the same. I was like, it's Backstreet Boys on a boat. How like bad could it be? It's gonna
Like,
be like so much fun. And
they
then my
can't
dad passed away
escape.
2 weeks before.
That's
and I
what
couldn't
that
go,
was.
but
I enjoyed that part.
I couldn't handle the unknown. Anyways, but then obviously once I heard what happened, I was like, there.
You just gotta it's trial and error, man. It's good.
Anyways, but I didn't know that New Kids had done that cruise in the 90s.
Yes,
Me neither.
It
And
was a Coca-Cola cruise.
In 1993.
What they were
1993.
describing was my, like, it's, you know how I said there's going to be two scenarios,
The
A or
worst
B,
case.
was like
Yeah.
the B scenario. Like, where they basically couldn't leave their rooms,
They were trapped for
Yeah.
days. They were...
and every time they tried to go out, they just, like, got attacked, and whatever. And I was just like, Jesus. So, I did not know that. And
Yeah,
I'll be the
same.
first to say I'm not, like, the biggest New Kids fan, so, like, maybe that was common knowledge.
I didn't
But,
know.
like...
I think like with nowadays social media and like they're not such a untouchable resource, right?
True, because in 1993 they would have only known them through magazines,
Magazines.
right? They would have
Yeah.
never.
There's no. I mean,
There was
you had
no
to,
chance to ever meet them unless you won at a
Yeah.
radio station or something.
you had to shoot your shot. I would have too. I would have been like, ah, like, I
and
get
the girls
it.
were a lot younger, so they're hormonal teenagers.
This is what the boys were chalking it up to. They were said in 1990, we're talking about like teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Versus like in 2009 when they did the first one. Now these are grown adults, so
Yes.
they're calmer. They're a little more willing to be like, okay, if I'm just patient, things will happen.
And like you can talk about your life and it'd be interesting because like when you're a 13-year-old, it's just like, what do I do? It's like I went to gymnastics
I go
class.
to school and I have your picture on
Didn't
my
someone say that in the documentary? Like they
Yeah.
were interviewing a fan, and she was like, "Now you can actually talk to them." Versus like when I was 14,
Yeah.
like, what would I have said?
Yes.
I kiss your picture every night. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Word.
So true. Yeah.
it
Because
is
they
true.
Yes, because you're probably all thinking you're going to marry them too at that point, so you're going to shoot your shot. Whereas now you're an
Yeah.
adult and you're like, okay, like,
yeah, exactly.
You're a little bit more calmer.
So I'm like, at first when they said that, I was like, holy shit. So they did that. They experienced like possibly a worst case scenario of a cruise. And then we're like, you know what? 18 years later, let's do it anyways.
Like, let's make this better. Let's make this right.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, we're gone. We've been gone from the spotlight for a while.
Well, maybe that's
You know?
it, right?
The steak, the licking pavement. Think that's coming back?
Yeah, it's true. So, it's totally possible that like that's what it was. But I was just
Mhm.
like, whoa. So they experienced complete craziness and still were like, yeah, let's do it again. Obviously, it turned out well. Obviously, they've been doing cruises for 11 years now.
I think the one
You know?
point they were talking about how their manager, whoever brought it up to them, and it must have got them on a good day, and they're like, okay,
Yeah,
cool,
yeah,
sure,
sure,
let's try this out. Or maybe they had the PTSD blocked from the 1993 cruise. Who knows?
Yeah.
Probably.
So I have a little bit of a note here at the 32-minute, 45-second mark. So they were kind of interviewing some fans, and then they were talking about all of the interaction with the fans. And then Donnie was talking about how he's there to serve the fans. And Joey was saying, for these 4 days, I'm their bitch. I'm serving them.
Yes.
They're-
Yes, I do
I'm
remember
here
this
for them. And I
quote.
was just like, that's a really good quote.
that
Like,
is correct.
and I
That
was
is
just
a
like,
very good quote.
And you know what? Lydia's right. That's how it should be.
Yes.
they're like, yes. Because I know a lot of people only go like, I know, it's their vacation too. I'm like, it's actually not their vacation.
No.
They're
Every day of
working.
their
They're
life is their
basically
vacation.
working still.
Well, and that's the point. It's like, I always liken it to like, because people, not about New Kids. New Kids actually very much throughout this entire documentary were like, I love the cruise. I can't wait for the cruise.
They're
I
like-
love our
like-
fans, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like not bullshit, like, oh, I love the fans, thanks so
Yeah.
much. It's like actual, like, legitimate.
Like legit, one of the other quotes was, one of the best parts is walking down the hallways surprising the fans. So they would go to their rooms and surprise them.
I'd
and
like
go
a
hang out with
surprise.
them.
Yes, please, knock on my door.
That's one of the things apparently they don't do anymore.
Oh, fuck, are you joking?
Apparently, this
too
is like, honestly, blockheads can correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently, like, in recent years, they've stopped doing that.
Why?
Because they're married again.
Yeah. Because now everyone's married except for Danny.
That was like bizarro because they were
Yeah.
like talking about how Danny's so excited to meet all the ladies. I'm like, ew. Does Danny use this as like a hookup cruise?
I don't know. I don't know.
But they kind of like inferred
Yeah,
that,
that's
and I was
true.
just like, blah.
But Donnie wasn't married at the time when they started these cruises. And so, like, that whole back rub stuff.
Oh, yes, I was
That-
so looking forward to
that
that.
I was
does
like, when I
not
saw that
happen
part, I'm
anymore.
like, oh, Lydia was.
That's literally what she was talking about when she, like, there was a Jordan yoga thing, but whatever. But literally when Lydia's like all the time, it's like, don't they do like adjustments and all this? Like, Donnie was literally massaging people.
But he also had some sort of radio show at the time or something.
Yes, it was called Back Rub.
Yes. So
With
then...
and
chocolate covered strawberries, they don't do this part anymore.
No.
Oh.
They might. We've never been on a cruise. Who knows?
This is just in the research that I found. They don't do this. Apparently, Jenny was not cool with that. Now that he was married.
I see.
Which I get.
I know.
Like, it was
Like, Donnie used to make out with chicks at cons.
Yeah.
Like, I could have sworn that was the reason why he got divorced to his first wife.
I don't know. But
again, understandable if this...
Yes.
But I'm just saying there's some things that don't happen anymore. And those things, like them going and chilling in the fans' rooms and the back rub and all that.
That was the 2 parts I was looking forward to.
Are the things that don't happen anymore.
Oh, man.
Well, I don't know. After watching this documentary, I wrote, I want to go on a New Kids cruise. And then I said, even fucking John is talking about how much he likes to talk to the fans one-on-one.
Maybe that doesn't happen anymore.
So even John is out there enjoying it.
I still think they probably definitely go around and talk with fans. They're very close with their fans and, like, know their fans and, like, whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure... Are they knocking on their doors in the middle of the night and, like, going in on...
Surprising people?
Yeah,
no,
probably
but I'm sure
not.
they have their fans that have been around for the last 10 years steadily that they know, and they'll probably go hang out with them.
What about us? We're new people.
Well, that's the thing,
We don't know. You know, none of this we know, because, again, we have not been on one of these cruises.
We don't.
But I also thought another interesting part was Donnie talking about giving a fan her first kiss.
That was gross. I wanted to puke. I'm sorry. Did anyone else see that? I was like,
that's very nice of him to do.
The germs. We're in Corona times, man. You can't be kissing no people.
This is pre-Corona times.
This was like 7 years ago, dude.
But just imagine.
No, the germs. I can't.
In time, go back about 10 years, and let's say you had not met Kenny and you wanted your first kiss, and Aaron Carter came up to you.
No.
Prior to those.
Oh, did those pictures you sent me? I did not appreciate those pictures.
Okay, we're not gonna go into detail about what that is. That's better left.
You can infer. You can infer the pictures
on the podcast. But anyways,
I thought that was nice. That was a cute thing.
But crossing a line if you're married,
yes,
I get
100%.
why those kind of things don't happen anymore.
You're an entertainer at the same time, but
they're not strippers, and
maybe they could be.
They're not Jeff Timmons.
Fair.
That's true.
Another part that I was dying at was when Jordan was describing the yoga event.
Oh my god, that was really
So
funny.
he's like, they were all, he thought it was just going to be like in a small studio or whatever. But then they're like, no, let's put this out on the Lido deck so everybody can come out.
Yeah,
so they did.
Didn't he describe it as like he thought he would be like in a yoga studio with people and like giving them hands-on adjustments, and they were like, "No, this yoga studio can fit like 12 people. What are we gonna have a line and like bring them in groups? We can't do that. You're just gonna do
it on the Lido deck. It's fine." So of course the Lido deck
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, but obviously the Lido deck is the biggest area where most people are. So some people did have mats and things.
Yeah.
So he said, it was all, he's like, kudos to the fans. They were all good and they tried for the first 5 or 6 minutes. And then I noticed they were just standing up, drinking and watching me. So he's like, I'm doing yoga. Literally everybody else is just drinking and filming me doing yoga.
Yeah.
Yes. That was pretty funny.
So he only did the yoga the first year, I guess. And then the years after that, he switched it to like a singing thing.
Yes.
So
that's, cool.
You innovate, adapt, to overcome.
One of the things that, like, I did appreciate about, like, in the things that they were talking about was, like, New Kids seems so chill.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, whatever happens. If this doesn't work out, we'll just make it fun anyways. And, like, you know what I mean? They come up with, like, ideas and themes and stuff, like, on the fly. Like, how they were talking about the toga party, and it, like, was inspired from, like, one from the year before where, like, it was supposed to be...
They had a white party.
They had a white party, and then somebody just showed up in a sheet, and they were like, oh my god, that's hilarious. We should
do toga party.
And then John wasn't there, so then Donnie just started talking and coming up with all these, like, fake names for them. Like...
Anus.
Yeah. And that's, you know what I mean?
Condomus or whatever.
Like, I was like, that's so funny, and that's like so cool how they just like go with the flow of things and just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would be like, what? No, this was not part of the plan. Like,
And I'd be like, improv time.
Yeah, which I think is really great because Donnie is an actor as well.
Yeah.
So that really probably helps with things.
yeah. And my favorite part, honestly, and I mean, maybe like you guys will get into this as well. So throughout the whole thing, throughout this whole like little documentary 15-minute thing, they keep trying to get Donnie to describe what the cruise is
Oh,
like.
I love this part.
And he was
Oh my
just like,
gosh.
you can't describe the cruise.
It's
Like,
not possible.
it's
Stop
not
asking
possible.
me.
Stop asking me to
It's not
describe
good.
it. You can't describe it. So I like was writing down some of the things
I have one of the
that
quotes, too.
he described it as that I thought was like super accurate. So like at the beginning he was talking about how it's like a pilgrimage where like the new
Yeah.
kids, the blockheads, come from all over the world and they all come to Florida and they go on the cruise. And I was like, yeah, that's so accurate. It's like for any of these cruises, I'm sure
Mhm.
it's like bringing everyone together, because even when you follow a band sort of on tour, unless you're literally those NSYNC girls who bought a trailer and like went
They
to
won the trailer
okay, whatever.
Meredith and Winter.
Yeah.
from Price is Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And literally went to like every single date.
Yeah.
Most people aren't doing that. You're gonna go to the shows that are kind of in your area.
Right.
Yeah.
So in that case, you always end up running into the same people.
Correct. Yes.
And this is how you make friends, and like that's cool. Like it's definitely whatever. But more or less
Yeah.
you always see the same people,
Mm.
right?
Right.
But on the cruise, you're seeing people like from like we're on the East Coast here
Yeah.
of Canada, like you're seeing people from the West Coast of Canada and the
Europeans
States. You're
and
seeing
South
Europeans
Americans.
and South Americans who you don't normally see,
You wouldn't
on
normally see
tour.
it.
No, 100%.
right? So I mean, they sprinkle in here and there. Like there's
Yeah,
always
sometimes there's a little bit of crossover.
yeah.
But you don't think of that because you just think, do you remember when we went to go see Serial Joe in Montreal?
Yeah.
So we were in Montreal and there was like a group of girls beside Merch Mike. And he was talking, I'm like, oh, do you know these girls? He's like, yeah, he's like, these girls are the you of Montreal. So
Yeah.
they're the ones who go to all the shows that are here in this area.
Yeah.
Whereas like you and your friends go to all the Ontario shows. So it was just like, so you don't think that they have a whole separate group of fans in different cities and areas that like a whole
Mhm.
different experience.
Mhm.
So a cruise brings everybody together.
Mhm.
So it's very interesting.
So I
to
thought,
see
I
that.
was like, that's a nice way of describing it. And everyone kind of travels in. Like, sure, some people live in Florida, and so, like, it's easy for them to come in. But it's still, like, so most people are traveling into this cruise.
Mm.
And so I was like, I like to think of it as a pilgrimage. That's, like,
Yeah.
a good description. And then, he said it's leaving the port of reality to paradise. And I was like,
Yeah,
again,
that's
yeah.
that's a good way of describing, I think, probably a cruise in general.
Yeah.
Because when you go on any other type of vacation, sure, there's the like you take off in the plane and you're leaving your home behind. But then, I don't know, there's
Say you go to Florida or something.
yeah, you get there, I don't know, you gotta get your bags. There's like the stress of like, okay, now we're going to the hotel and like all this stuff, and then it's
Where am I
just-
gonna eat?
Yeah. And then at a certain point you finally sit down and you're like, oh, we're here.
Yeah.
But it seems kind of anticlimactic, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
It's more of like a we're finally here, you know? Versus a cruise, yes, you get there, you get your bags, okay, now we gotta go to the friggin' port, now we gotta like get on, you know what I mean? But then there's literally that moment where the boat leaves
Yes.
Yeah.
the
It's like
dock
magic.
and you're slowly watching land get further and further away, and you're just like, this is it, we're in the ocean now, like
Yeah.
no one
This
can
is
come.
us.
Yeah.
Nobody can come and go. This is
Yeah.
like
And it's like a cruise ship. It's like its own city.
Yes.
It has everything you could possibly need. You don't have to worry about cooking. You don't have to worry about shit. You're just like, you are actually enjoying your life the entire time.
And pretty much
Yes.
you can't use your phone,
yeah.
like
unless you want to pay a gazillion dollars.
and
But even
if
then,
you do, it doesn't work that
No,
well. Like
no.
you can pay a bunch of money to get Wi-Fi, but it does. You did
No, it
the
was
one.
very-
It was
it
like
was crap.
super shit.
so it's like you are living in the moment of being on this cruise and being at these events, and that's it.
So, like, as
I love
you're
that.
sitting
Great.
there at that sail away party and you are watching the land get further and further away, you're literally like, that's it. Nobody can get me now. Like,
We're here.
All bets are
I
off.
can't run into work to go finish something. I can't
Yeah.
do whatever. Like,
Yeah.
this is it. This is
Yeah.
what
like,
I'm doing.
even I can't check that last work email on my phone. I can, like, my husband or whoever can't call me now. Like,
Yeah, I mean that is kind of
Yeah.
nice though in a way. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like letting go of everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yeah, and in another way, in other vacations, like, once you land, if you go to Vegas, once you land in Vegas, people can still call you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You would have to actively make the decision to be like, okay, I'm
not
not
answering my
yeah,
phone.
Yeah,
which is tough for a lot of people to do. But this
Yeah.
is like, you can't,
exactly.
So I thought that was like a good description.
Near the end, Donnie
Yeah, I
also
agree.
goes with, going on a cruise is like winning the $500 million in the Powerball lottery.
Yeah.
So that's the
Oh,
joy
yes,
that it
I like
brings
this quote.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
me
was
too.
the last one, and that's the last one that I wrote down too. He said it's like winning the lottery.
And he's like, finally, I can describe to you what this feels like.
Yeah, so he said that being
Yeah.
on the cruise is like winning the lottery. And the best part of I thought of that is that he's like, it's not going to be perfect. You're going to run into problems. You win the 500 million. It's not always going to be easy and it's not always going to be amazing. But like, think about that feeling of like, I've won the lottery. That's what,
Euphoria.
yeah.
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 And I'm like,
I really like that quote.
100% agree, because
Yeah.
again, I've never been on a New Kids cruise, but I can imagine having been on the Backstreet Boys cruise. If I was like a big blockhead, it would be the same. It's just like, if you really think about it, when you were 13 or 14 or whatever,
Oh yeah.
if you told me, hey, you're gonna go on a cruise and be trapped on a boat with your favorite boy band, that would be like winning the lottery.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be like, yeah, like, I can't imagine that, you would have, like, been
Yeah.
any happier.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's awesome.
Go
Yeah.
back in time. He's like, just stock up on toilet paper for 2020. I can't tell you why, but but you're gonna have a fun time on the cruise and stock up on toilet paper.
Oh my god, that's so funny, yeah.
Yes. And then I also noticed that in the credits, Eddie gets thanked in the credits.
Eddie!
Who's Eddie?
Eddie Meehan from Ground Control.
Oh, Eddie!
So Eddie was also there. So I was just like,
That's sweet.
People don't know who he is. He runs, it's not Ground Control, it's
no,
Wonderful
it's called
Union.
Wonderful Union now, but
Wonderful
at the time
Union.
it was Ground Control, so that's why we know it's an old video.
Yes, and
Ah.
Eddie doesn't work for New Kids anymore.
Really? What
Did he ever
happened?
work for them though?
He ran their website just like he runs.
Oh, see, I thought
so
that he
many
just
other
went on,
people's.
because I know a bunch of the Backstreet people went on the New Kids cruise to kind of get more intel for the Backstreet cruise. So
Oh yeah, research and development. Oh
Yes.
yeah, wink, wink.
But
lots of drinking.
Yeah.
New Kids don't work with Wonderful Union
Okay.
anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Cool.
Do we know why?
Awesome.
No,
Not really. No,
is what it is.
I can surmise, but I obviously don't know.
I can
Yeah.
surmise.
No.
Okay, no one surmises. Okay.
So yeah, we're good. So do you have anything else from your notes for this? Or
I don't know.
do you guys have any other thoughts?
Bring back the back rubs, for God's sakes.
Would you want your husband doing that?
Oh!
Lydia's husband is laughing in the background
Because he's here at the
He can-
Dorkalicious Studios.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I mean, I'm not having like sex with people. I'm just getting a nice back rub. You know how stressful my life is. I just need a back rub every once in a while. Maybe a chocolate covered strawberry as well.
But I'm sure they have like
They do have chocolate covered strawberries.
You can
on
get
cruises.
massages from paid professionals.
Yeah, but that's not the same. I don't want a trained professional who knows what they're doing. I want a boy bender who I'm fantasizing about.
Listen, if 90 Degrees ever does one,
I'm sure Jeff
I'm sure
would
Jeff Timmons would do that.
give
Do
lap dances.
you think that I want anything from Jeff Timmons? Nick
She
Lachey
wanted
can give me a
Nick
back
Lachey.
rub.
Come on.
Thank you.
I
See,
doubt
Sophia
Nick-
knows
I
me.
doubt
Nick
his
Lachey
wife
would
would let
not
him.
do that. No.
All right, fair. I'm just saying. Okay.
Okay.
Even
So
I'm just saying that's
essentially,
who
the
she
only
wants
way to
if
get
he would
Lydia
ever
on
do it.
another boy band cruise is to guarantee that a boy bander will give her a back massage.
or like come to my room and say hello, like give me some notice. You know, like I don't want to be like a swamp creature.
Here's the thing. I was watching
But
that.
I don't stay in my room, so when would I be in the room?
Well, this is what I was thinking.
I'm barely.
I
ever
was
there.
thinking about that because I was
Yeah.
like, in theory, that's a great. Like thinking about opening your door and like a new kid is there or a Backstreet Boy is there and they come in and you just like chill and talk for a bit. In theory, that sounds great, but in reality, when are you in your room?
Yeah.
And when you are in your room, you're showering or sleeping. Like that girl where they was
Yeah.
like, we don't want to see you naked. But like, if I was showering and someone came and they were like, open the shower, I'd be like, no.
I'd be
Like,
like, hey.
Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?
I'd be like, no, with the camera and everything. Like, what? No.
Like,
Even trying to get you to wake up from your nap was
oh
like,
my God. And
a
if they came when I
disaster.
was sleeping, I probably wouldn't get up. Yeah. I'd be...
And like most of the rooms that they were knocking on, they're not the nice rooms. This is like the crappy
Well,
ass
that's
room.
what a
Leonardo
lot of
DiCaprio
them
deck.
look like. But
Like, I mean, isn't there like a room where you have like a deck? Not deck. Oh my god,
Balcony.
a
balcony.
balcony, yeah.
yeah.
Like that seems like a nice room where I would like to have a
But
celebrity.
there's
chat.
obviously way fewer of those.
Mhm.
I guess, yeah. But I'm just
I
like,
don't
I don't know. Like, yeah, because I mean, I remember the cruise room, and it was not a joy to be in. No offense, Chinzia.
I'm not offended.
I'm just
No,
Listen,
but you're not
here's
going
my
on the
thing.
cruise to be in your room.
no,
Exactly.
exactly.
like
This is
that.
true.
My main thing is I'm going to be out there doing things, meeting people, checking out other doors, doing stuff. I'm not sitting in my room twiddling my thumbs.
Yeah.
Yes, on the Backstreet Boys cruise, they have a Backstreet Boys channel that plays like old videos and stuff, which is super cool and great. But I would rather be out experiencing life at this time.
Yes, agreed.
Whereas
agreed.
some people
Yeah.
aren't. So, teach their own.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, and I
For
think
sure.
if being in the room is important to you, then you do pay that little bit.
And also
more.
because we are very cheap and we always go with the Leonardo DiCaprio deck,
Yeah, we do.
which has no windows, very small.
No, it has a window. When you open the thing, it's just a brick wall.
It is
Like,
curtained to a wall. It's like,
Oh,
yeah, it's just
So-
a cement. You're like,
we
oh.
didn't even
it's
have
like
a
we
curtain.
didn't even have the curtain.
We
Oh,
had the
wow.
motors.
I thought that's kind of soothing and helps you
Oh
sleep.
yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I had a great time.
Anyways, whatever. It is what it is. So
If maybe a foot rub, can we just like a hand rub? Can I get some rubs?
I'm sure that he would.
My
get,
life is
hugs and
difficult.
Alright.
they give hugs.
This is
Alright,
you
fine.
manifesting something.
But, like,
there you go, Lydia.
Okay, but like also
You're putting it into the world.
you're right, but at the same time, germs as well. Like ew.
It's
Also.
a different time. Who knows if that's
Ugh.
ever going to be back?
I know,
Right?
I know. It's like sad times. It's sad, but also like happy because that did exist in some point in time, which is nice.
That is true.
Agreed.
Yes,
All right.
agreed.
Does anyone have anything else to add?
No.
Just want to say, like, kudos to new kids.
Yeah.
Way to do a virtual cruise. And,
Oh my god,
like,
it's so cool.
amazing.
Yes.
way to bring fans in, everybody. And I just
Setting
think
the
that's
standard
awesome.
for other boy bands. Well done, sir.
100%. As always,
Yes.
they're like the OG. Like,
Mhm.
setting things,
Yes.
taking risks. Like, totally. All right.
Lots of fun.
Thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.